First of all, thank you. Thank you to the people who are following along on this adventure, watching my videos, and thank you especially to the people who have gone over to Substack to become paid subscribers to help me keep this adventure going. It not only validates my work and tells me that yes, this is something valuable that people want to pay to see, my writing and the videos that I'm making over there, but also it helps me keep this adventure going. And as of right now, I have stage 2 and stage 3 complete. Stage 2 was walking from Glacier National Park down to Cardwell, Montana on the Continental Divide Trail. It was a difficult stretch at first where I learned to embrace the solitude and the remoteness of the Bob Marshall Wilderness and Scapegoat Wilderness, which were my first segment right out of Glacier, a 260-mile patch without a town. And also just the beauty of it being way up on the ridge of that divide and knowing that all the water that falls, all the rain that falls on that ridge to my right flows to the Pacific Ocean where I came from, and on my left flows down the Missouri to the Mississippi to the Gulf where I'm going. And walking along that ridge was my personal favorite on the Continental Divide Trail. I didn't care much for the wildlife. Obviously, I had a pretty close brush with some bears there in Glacier National Park where they're prevalent. I was taking all the precautions I could, but still they just came up on me on the trail, and I had my bear spray and everything, and thankfully they just weren't interested in me. They went down and around and they didn't do it, but it still scared me, and I didn't care for that at all. But I got to stay in some pretty cool places on the Continental Divide Trail. I'd say the first was the Chinese Wall, which is a place you can only ride a horse to or walk to, and it's a piece of our landscape that is in the wilderness, so you're not going to see it unless you walk there. And I walked there, and I felt very privileged to do so. You know, I also got to stay in like this little yurt. It was a cool like ranger station. The other neat place that I stayed was with Trail Angel Corey D, who I didn't want to stay with at first. I was like, oh, it's a little far off of the trail to go there, or it's going to be out of my way or whatever, but we got along so well, and we had such a great time for like 2 days. She took me to Helena. I went to the library, did the last of my preparations I needed to do for the canoe trip, bought the last of my gear, got my maps, stuff like that, and sent me packing after there. And I walked from Helena down to Cardwell, where I took a short trip to go see my family for a couple days, and then brought my brother back with me when I came back from that trip, and now he's with me for 2 weeks. So we got the Jefferson River done together. It was shallow, we had to walk, but stage 3 was only 44 miles, so we got it done. And now he's going to be with me until September 12th. So we started a couple days ago, and we got 12 more days to go. Today's September 1st, and obviously in Montana that means summer's ending. And that's one of the challenges I anticipate in paddling this 2,321.5 mile river behind me from Three Forks at its confluence down to St. Louis, is the weather, because it does go through some northern latitudes, and winter comes early up here, and the wind is ferocious, the thunderstorms are legendary, and you know, the ice comes whether you'd like it to or not. The other challenge is crossing all this open water on these reservoirs. Fort Peck is one in eastern Montana that's going to be a challenge unless I have a following wind, because I do have a sail. I can put it up and book. If I've got a sail, I can really fly. But if I have a headwind, probably just gonna have to hang out on the shore till it ends. Those are the challenges coming up, but I've got enough challenges behind me to be grateful for overcoming that I'm not going to stress about anything that is so far in the future I can't see it immediately. I did my preparation. I've been through a lot of difficult situations, a lot of challenging stuff that I think I'm prepared mentally for it, and that's the most important thing. I have a positive mental attitude. I don't let a day go by without laughing or smiling at something, or at least being grateful for what I have, which is the total antidote to depression and anxiety and, you know, all this other crap that'll steal your joy. This trip is like, you know, 17 states and months of out here traveling, and it feels like moving a mountain a bucket at a time. And I'm not going to move a mountain a bucket at a time and keep looking at the mountain. I'm just going to look at the bucket, and I'm focusing on what I'm doing right now and the progress that I'm making right now, and the gratitude for that pile that I'm making as I move that mountain a little bit at a time. And right now that pile is 3 stages deep. I got the Pacific Northwest Trail done. I got the Continental Divide Trail done. I got that backpack off of me finally. And then now the Jefferson River is done. Now we're on the Missouri, and now we're cooking along, trying to make 30 miles a day, although with my brother here, I'm sure we can do more. And I'm going to make the best of it. Yeah, we've got 4 weeks of nice weather left, roughly. You never know with Montana, but I have so much more traveling to do beyond that. And once he's gone, I hope that I'll have the motivation and the discipline to continue the momentum that we're building up while my brother's here. So thank you again for watching, for following, for all the encouragement that you've been sending my way in the comments and the messages that you've sent me. I'm not even halfway done. So there's the good news. If you really like watching this stuff, there's more of it coming than I've already put out. It might not seem like it because I've been out here since May 31st and today's September 1st, but I still have a long way to go, Jack. I'm moving that mountain one bucket at a time, and you know, I keep this smile on my face just by focusing on the bucket I'm dumping and not on the mountain I'm trying to move. So thank you.